Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. It is October 10th, today is Thursday, and this is Daily Drop number 8. On today's show, we're going to discuss something that we discussed on episode 5 of the Daily Drops, when we were discussing that there was a spin doctor hired by Prince Andrew to manage the whole entire fallout from this Jeffrey Epstein situation. Well, we have a new article today that came out in Newsweek saying that Prince Andrew did not hire a spin doctor. So we're going to go through this article together, and we'll see what we come up with. Prince Andrew is sensible to keep a low profile ahead of an expose on his ties to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, a royal expert has told Newsweek. The 59-year-old appears to be trying to avoid press attention amid reports he has hired a political spin doctor to help repair his reputation as Buckingham Palace braces itself for an hour-long documentary set to air on the UK's Channel 4 in less than 2 weeks. A Channel 4 spokesperson confirmed to Newsweek that a Dispatch's documentary titled The Prince and the Pedophile, catchy, is due to air on October 21st at 10 p.m. The program will see reporter Kathy Newman investigate the extraordinary friendship between the Queen's second son and Epstein. The Daily Telegraph reported, citing a royal source, that 28-year-old Jason Stein, who was previously MP Amber Rudd's special advisor, will report directly to Andrew's private secretary Amanda Thirsk and deal with Epstein's related inquiries. Buckingham Palace declined to comment on the matter, but a source close to the palace told Newsweek that Stein will not be Andrew's communications secretary. All right, so we have two conflicting reports. The Telegraph is saying that they did hire Mr. Stein as a spin doctor, whereas we're hearing from a supposed source close to the palace, whatever that means. Newsweek's track record's kind of shifty. That Stein will not be Andrew's communications secretary. So I guess we'll see what's what in the next few days. It'll break one way or the other, and we'll get an idea of what's what. Reports suggest that Andrew is striving to stay under the radar in a bid to distance himself from the Epstein scandal. He has no future engagements published on the royal family's website, and a recent trip to Australia saw very little fanfare. I believe only one fan showed up to that outing there in Australia, so that can't be too good for the old Princey boy over here. Ingrid Seward, editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, told Newsweek that Andrew is probably wise to hire help. I think that he's probably wise to employ the services of someone who is experienced in dealing with this kind of backlash, she said. I think the best thing for him to do is do what he has done, which is just keep his head down and get on with whatever he's doing. It would be sensible for him to keep a low profile as much as possible. So wait a minute. Why would he keep a low profile if he has nothing to worry about? Why wouldn't he just come speak to whoever wanted to speak to him? Very odd. He's cooperated whenever he's been asked, and there's not very much else he can do at this stage. Oh, come on. Talk about covering for this guy. There's a lot more he could do. How about actually, telling the truth? That might, kind of be important. Seward added that she doesn't believe he's actively trying to avoid attention so much as he doesn't usually attract much in the first place. Last week, only one fan turned up to greet him at the event for his Pitch at Palace initiative for young entrepreneurs at Murdoch University in Perth, Western Australia. Even that fan, teacher and self-proclaimed royal hunter Renee Poolman, said she wasn't surprised by the poor turnout. She told The Australian that speculation around his ties to Epstein had probably marred his credibility. Marred his credibility, huh? Yeah, I can say that that's a pretty fair assessment of the situation, considering the guy's, hanging out with, convicted pedophiles. Probably not the best company to keep, especially if you're a high-profile person like a, prince. You might want to avoid people like Epstein. Seward noted that Andrew never attracts as much attention as other members of the royal family. I'm sure he doesn't like it, but I think he's used to it, she said. The Royal Palace press pack don't really follow Andrew, so we never get much information about his trips abroad. However, Australia's News.com said Andrew's trip to Perth, Western Australia, was a curiously under-the-radar official royal visit. It reported that Andrew slipped into the country with no fanfare and no lead-up press coverage. It said the fact that only one member of the public showed up was a new, deeply embarrassing low point. It added, "It was an extraordinarily subdued and unusual arrival that looked a lot like he was trying to steal into the country without attracting media attention." So the Queen's second-born son is sneaking into the country like a thief? I wonder why. You got nothing to worry about. You're innocent of all charges. You never did anything that you were accused of doing. You never saw anything. What are you worried about, my man? The royal family's movements are usually publicized in advance to ensure maximum press coverage, but no future engagements for Andrew are currently available to view on the royal family's website, where official engagements are published up to 8 weeks in advance. Wow. Why not? What are they trying to hide? Why are they burying it? In contrast, his brother Prince Edward's planned engagements until November 28th have been published. It might be a security issue. They often only release engagements a few days before they happen. Wait a minute, it just said it was released 8 weeks in advance. Now it's only a few days before it happens? Get it together, boys. However, Andrew has maintained a regular social media presence, continuing to post on his Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook following engagements. 2 weeks ago, he joined other members of the royal family in posting a gushing tribute following his eldest daughter, Princess Beatrice's engagement. He will be expected to walk Beatrice down the aisle when she marries Edoardo Mapelli Mazzi next year. Andrew has been dogged for months by negative headlines over his well-publicized friendship with Epstein, who took his own life, in a prison cell in August after being charged with child trafficking. Virginia Roberts, one of the 16 women who say they were abused by Epstein, claims she was forced to have sex with Andrew when she was 17. Buckingham Palace has repeatedly denied he had any sexual contact with Roberts, saying in a statement, "It is emphatically denied that the Duke of York had any form of sexual contact or relationship with Virginia Roberts. Any claim to the contrary is false and without foundation." Days after Epstein's death, Andrew issued a statement which said, "The Duke of York has been appalled by the recent reports." Now, mind you, he hung out with him after he was arrested the first time. "By the recent reports of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes. His Royal Highness deplores the exploitation of any human being, and the suggestion he would condone, participate in, or encourage any such behavior is abhorrent." Alright, look. We're not buying it, buddy. We're not buying it. We don't, for all the tea in China, we're not buying it right now. You have to answer questions, and this isn't going to cut it, those kind of statements. But although Andrew has maintained to have never seen, witnessed, or suspected the behavior that led to Epstein's 2008 conviction for soliciting an underage girl for prostitution, he's come under fire for visiting Epstein 4 months after he was released from prison in 2010. Yeah, you think? He should come under fire. Nobody should be visiting Epstein. The man was a monster, never mind after the fact. In another statement issued August 24th, Andrew said that he met Epstein in 1999 and insisted he saw him infrequently and no more than once or twice a year. He added, "At no stage during the limited time I spent with him did I see, witness, or suspect any behavior of the sort that subsequently led to his arrest and conviction." Well, they were close enough friends that Epstein floated his ex-wife Fergie some loot, so I guess they were close enough for that to happen. He said he had tremendous sympathy for Epstein's alleged victims and reiterated that it was a mistake seeing Epstein released from an 18-month prison term in 2010 for prostituting minors. Channel 4's Current Affairs team is understood to have contacted former royal aides to investigate why Andrew stayed at Epstein's Manhattan mansion during the visit in December 2010, according to The Telegraph. So we discussed that in the episode 5, all of that stuff about how he went to New York supposedly to break it off with Prince Andrew like they were in a love affair. So the prince, the second-born son of the Queen of England, decided he was going to hop on a plane, fly to New York, and personally break off his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Because that couldn't have been done via text message or one of his underlings or simply just saying, "I'm not going to see this man ever again," and that's the end of it. Nope. He had to fly all the way there because, hey, what do you know? I gotta, someone that I only see infrequently. It's so important that I go and break up our friendship in person because we're such infrequent friends that I owe that to him. How does any of that make sense? On what planet does any of that make sense? He's reaching at this point. He understands that the walls are closing in. He understands the FBI wants to talk to him. He understands that his royal blood is only going to defend him for so long. He's going to have to answer questions. And these sort of canned answers and these canned responses, they're not going to cut it. This man needs to answer questions. And if he didn't hire this spin doctor, let me tell you, he better hire him. He's going to need him. The article ends, Andrew allegedly told friends the trip to New York was in a bid to end his friendship with Epstein, the Sunday Times reported. A source told the newspaper that the prince claimed he only visited Epstein, who considered him a trophy friend, to tell him they couldn't be friends anymore. Like I said, how does that make sense? Why would you visit a trophy friend? You would only go visit somebody that holds an important part in your life, somebody that is impactful in your life, somebody that you care about. If it's somebody you didn't care about, why would you take the time to fly across the ocean to come speak with him? You have nothing better to do as the prince? You don't have any other projects to work on? They don't need any... There's no poor people in England you could help? There's no... I mean, let's be real. Nobody's buying this. Nobody's buying it. We want answers. And we're not going to stop until we have the proper answers that we're looking for. And when I say us, I mean the American people and people around the world. You know, like I said, this spans continents. There's multiple layers to this. There's multiple actors on this stage that have been conducting this sort of thing all over the world. And once this gets pulled back, and once this comes into the light fully, and we have a real idea of what's going on, and it could be presented to the American people in a way that they understand, like I'm trying to do with these daily drops, I think we're going to see a whole shift in this case, and I think you're going to see a lot more anger and a lot more outrage from people around the water coolers at work even. That's going to conclude our show for today. I hope you guys join us tomorrow for another drop, and from there on, we'll keep it going. Like I said, every day except for Sunday when the long-form 1-hour show drops, we will have a daily news blurb, and we'll follow the stories, and like today, we had a story that related to one that we reported earlier this week, so we'll do some follow-up when we have stories like that breaking. I hope you guys enjoy your night, and I will talk to you guys all tomorrow.